Manchester United won, Everton won. Manchester United's blushers saved by a late Zlatan Ibrahimovic penalty, which maintains an unbeaten run that actually I couldn't give a damn about. We've been unbeaten in the Premier League since October, but we have effectively... top four's gone. Top four is gone. It's not gone mathematically, I accept that, but at what point do those people who think we still can get it realise that we're not playing well enough to get it, we don't deserve to get it, and it's unlikely to change for the reasons I'm about to tell you anytime soon. So top four is gone in my mind, it's gone in some Manchester United minds, but it will definitely be gone. You're elongating the inevitable, because when a side puts itself and gives itself a chance before the international break, we grind out results, we give ourselves a chance, we come back from 2 weeks, and in 2 home games against West Brom and Everton, we take 2 points from 6. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's West Brom and Everton, and it's not. We only just got a point out of Everton there with a last-minute penalty. It's not good enough. It isn't good enough. That Everton team got absolutely battered by Liverpool 3 days ago. And Everton always turn up a little bit better than they do, I believe, against Manchester United than they do against Liverpool. But we never looks like battering them today. We didn't. The football was... it was chaotic. That second half was just chaos. I didn't know I didn't know, was Ander Herrera right back? But then when we have the ball, quickly run forward. Just chaotic. And I think for one of the first times... And I'm not Mourinho out or any of that nonsense. It's total rubbish. I hope he will get it right, and I still believe he will get it right. But just baffled by the team selection, yeah. But baffled by the fact that we could have won that game today if we'd selected the right team. And I go back to the very start. Obviously, we're all positive. Obviously, we all think we can win the game. But when that team news came out, if you were watching the watch-along with us and everybody on the live comments, we said, I'm not as confident as I was now. Why is Marcus Rashford playing at left wing when Marcus Rashford had a bad game, as bad a game as Martial did? Some people said he played worse than Martial against West Brom. But Mourinho publicly comes out and says Mkhitaryan and Martial are dropped for their poor performance at the weekend. And then Rashford plays on the left wing. Well, Rashford's not a left winger anyway, and when Rashford has played well on the left wing, it's when he's come on in the last half an hour against the tired right back. I don't know the name of the right back for Everton, but he came out on top against Rashford today. He bullied him, he pushed him off the ball a lot, dominated him for most of the game, and Rashford stayed on the pitch for 90 minutes. Fellaini, whatever you think about Fellaini, I'm amazed he managed to stay on the pitch for 90 minutes. And that in itself says a lot of problems about Manchester United and the squad we've got. That someone like Marouane Fellaini played 90 minutes today. 90 minutes he was on the pitch today. He did absolutely nothing. And I'm not saying he's the only one, because he certainly wasn't, but he did absolutely nothing. I'm not picking on Fellaini because it's not his fault he gets picked. And I'm coming back to Jose, I'm afraid. Your obsession has to end. Your obsession with that player has got to stop. The reason, I said this last season, I'm tired of saying this. I said last season, a Manchester United team that puts Fellaini in it is not going to finish in the top 4. Said it under Van Gaal, and it was proved right. And it's going to happen again this season. We're not going to finish in the top 4 because he keeps picking that player in our midfield. He can't pass. He's too slow. He gets bypassed. The first half against Everton, our midfield got well and truly dominated through pace and speed on the break. And I'll tell you what, I didn't even know we were going to lose this game, but I said at the start, within the first 3 minutes, I applaud Everton because they've come here, the pitch is wide open, they're coming to have a game against us. We can't use any excuse at the end of this game, no matter what the result is, because it's not West Brom parking 8 men against the ball, behind the ball. This game is there to be won if we are good enough to win it. And I think ultimately, the reason we didn't win that game, and I'll call it a dross because it's a loss, but it's a draw, but we've had too many draws. A draw is a loss today. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, what it does do, it just puts the final nail in the coffin of us getting this top 4. But at the end of the day, I look at the team Everton put out, I look at the team that we put out, and the big reason we are struggling at the moment, it's not about, we've had chances, we've had games at Old Trafford where we've said, that's 2 points dropped, we should have won that game, we missed loads of chances. The last 2 home games, I can't honestly sit here and say, we've dropped 4 points. We deserve to win those games. Against West Brom, we didn't do enough, and tonight, we didn't do enough. A draw is the right result on both performances. In fact, probably tonight, we were probably very lucky to get a draw. It is a penalty, it is a handball, but it's right at the end. So you've got to say there's an element of luck to it. But I look at the team that Everton put out, I look at the team that we put out, and the reason we are struggling is there's not a lot of difference in quality. Lukaku against Zlatan, is there any difference? Really? Is there any difference? I mean, Zlatan's the better player, but within the teams they play in, is there any difference in how effective Lukaku is for Everton and Zlatan is for us? Not this season. You look at Barkley, Morelos, and you compare them to Rashford and Lingard, and Barkley and Morelos were the better two players today. The defenders, on our side, I thought Rojo, apart from the goal, and Bailly played quite well. Obviously, Williams and Jagielka played well. The reality is, without going man for man, is that pretty much it was a pretty even match. And that's where Manchester United are going wrong. Because when Everton come to Old Trafford and they are, 6th or 7th, or 5th or wherever they are, and their team's as good as our team, that's the problem. Our squad is full of players that just are not good enough. And I know a lot of Manchester United fans over this season have said, you've got to look at the players, you've got to look at the players. And to a certain extent, you're totally right. But tonight, I think you've got to look at the manager. I think tonight he's got it wrong. I really do. I think he's got it wrong tonight because the reason I think he's got it wrong is because he picked the wrong team. Why pick Rashford on the left? It should have been Martial. Why pick Lingard on the right? It should always be Mkhitaryan. They might not be informed, and people might say, well, if they're not good enough, why are they they're not informed why they're playing. You don't know what they're doing in training. Very, very good point. But I know what Rashford and Lingard are doing on the pitch because I'm watching it, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I'm not saying they're bad players. I think Jesse Lingard, you put him in a team like Hull, maybe even, he wouldn't get in the Everton team. You put him in a mid-table team, he's probably a good side. But that's the problem with Manchester United. We've got a lot of players who get played a lot of money and wear the Manchester United badge and they think they're better than they are. And they're only at Manchester United because we've had an awful purchase of players over the last 3 years. We have got a big squad, but it's not a very good squad. And I think my concern is that I remember a couple of months ago people were saying, well, where are we going to finish in the league? And I've got a £50 bet with the Liverpool Twitter account where I said we'll finish above you. Because 2 months ago I looked at it and I went, we will finish above them. We will finish in the top four. I totally believe we'll do it. I look at the players, we'll do it. We should have done it. But the reason we haven't done it is that we don't pick the team. The manager picks the team. And he has got some weird tendencies to do things that 99% of Manchester United fans wouldn't do based on what we've seen for the last 3 years with people like Fellaini and based on Martial's a better player than Rashford on the left wing. Mkhitaryan's a better player than Lingard. He just seems to want to mix. And the thing is as well, it's chaos. I've never seen such chaos in that second half. It was like we're 1-0 down to Everton. There's not a lot wrong with the formation that you've put out. But then we come out in the second half and we've got a back three that's got Herrera at right. Well, it had Young at right back. Then he was left back. Then Herrera was at right back. Then he takes Carrick off, who's the captain and dictating the play. Look, Young had to come off because of an injury. But the formation's chaotic. We've only had 45 minutes. You picked the wrong team. Just get Martial on for Rashford. Get Mkhitaryan on for Lingard. And keep it the same as the first half. Because we weren't being battered in the first half. Everton scored. We had a few chances. Just put better players on and keep the formation the same. But he changes the formation. And I'm sure on Sunday we'll probably see Rooney if he's fit starting. And then the following week when we haven't won, we'll see somebody else play. At Chelsea, Real Madrid, wherever he's been, he's always been very consistent with the team that he picks. But at Manchester United, it's chaotic. You never know what team he's going to pick. You don't know. You don't know. You really don't know what team he's going to pick. He's changing it week after week after week. And, you know, the Europa League's our only chance now. He's got to prioritise the Europa League, and I'm sure he will do that. But what is when he says he's prioritising his best team, is his best team going to be Lingard, Rashford, Zlatan, Fellaini again? Or is your best team going to be what everyone wants you to play, which is Martial, Mkhitaryan, Pogba, Herrera, Zlatan and Carrick running the midfield because we haven't got Mata at the moment. Play that team. If they have a bad game, don't overreact. Just stick with that team. Play that team for the next 10 games or the next 5 in the Europa League, and I think we'll win it. And we'll start seeing better football. But the trouble is we're just not playing good football at the moment. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. Marin Fellaini's made a contribution. He says, if I was the real Fellaini, I would see myself out of the club and join a Jackson's cover band. Very, very good. There's a few people saying Jose out, and let's hope Arsenal bottle it tomorrow. I don't really care what happens in the league now because I really do believe that top 4 is gone. If you can only take 2 points from West Brom and Everton at home, what chance have you got of going away to Arsenal, Man City and Spurs and getting 9 points? Very little. And the reality is, even if we did that now, we're still hoping that the teams above us lose. Whereas before, it was always in our hands to do it. There's massive problems at Manchester United. I still believe Jose Mourinho is the right man to sort it out, but he looks a bit clueless at the moment. It looks a bit chaotic, and I think he's putting faith in the wrong players. He'll probably come out. I can't wait to see his match press conference actually, because I want to listen to what he's got to say. And I'll stop this as soon as he does. But his faith is in the wrong players. When he comes out after games and says, Michael Carrick and Fellaini after Saturday, they couldn't have done any better than what Herrera or Pogba would do. Come on. Fellaini and Carrick, Carrick's coming towards the end of his career, and Fellaini, who's got no creativity, over Herrera and Pogba, who are quick, young, can play all sorts of passes. That's just idiotic. And he's backing the wrong players. What he needs to do is, he needs to be doing absolute. If he's a decent manager, which I know he is, he needs to do everything in his power, whether it's arm round the shoulder, stop the public telling off. He needs to put an arm round the shoulder of people like Luke Shaw, Anthony Martial, Mkhitaryan, play them week in, week out, and stick to a team now for the rest of the season. And if he does that, I think we can win the Europa League. But the way things are going at the moment, it's alarming. The team selections are alarming. The results are alarming. And most of all, the performances are alarming. You know, we're failing on 3 levels. We're not picking the right team. We're not getting the right results. And we're not playing good football. And he can do it. It will start with picking the right team. Then we'll play good football, and then we'll win win games. But it's worrying. I was really looking forward to April, a game every 3 days. We're going for top 4. Let's give it our best shot. We've got the Europa League. I think the league games are a hindrance now. I think he's just got, Sunderland on Sunday. If Ashley Young's out, play Fosu Mensah. But it's gone. Top 4's gone. In my mind, I know a lot of you will have your own opinion, but in my mind, top 4's gone. We just got to. The Europa League is concerning. We've got the players. We can do it, but the manager's got to earn his money, and he's got to pick the right team. And I'll come back to it. I cannot understand for the life of me. Well, it's just criminal. It's criminal that Fellaini stayed on that pitch for 90 minutes. It's criminal that Martial didn't get 1 minute. And it's criminal, the chaos of the second half of what was going on formation-wise. And yes, I'm happy for all those United fans who are happy that we're still unbeaten since October in the league. But are you really proud of being unbeaten in the league since October when we're not anywhere near top four? I mean, what does it... I'd happily sacrifice 4 of those draws for 4 wins, because we'd have another 4 wins. We'd have another 8 points. Disappointing. But we go again. We didn't lose, but in many ways we did, because... But Luke Shaw was a positive. My man of the match under Herrera. I thought Herrera was fantastic today. Ashley Young played quite well. Luke Shaw played well when he came on. Bay played well. Rojo did okay. And for those people who want Lukaku, I hope you've seen tonight that, as I've said many a times, he bottles it against us. He's not a Manchester United striker, although at the moment he probably is, because we're not very good. But there it is. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like on the video. Give us your thoughts, what you think below, and interact with each other. But we're a long way off. I mean, I've just seen somebody mention Janusai there. All he is just another. He's just, if he comes back in the summer, he's just another bit of deadwood in a squad that's just not good enough. That's the problem. It's just not good enough. Sad. It's sad. Very disappointing, says Sophie Flynn. I totally agree. I can't remember the last time we won at home in the league. Not good enough. Thanks everyone for watching. Tomorrow night at 8:30, Skype Goldbridge. You can all give us your thoughts. All in for the Europa League, says Muller91. Just disappointing. 2 games back after the international break. West Brom, Everton and Sunderland. We thought, let's get 9 points from there, and at least it gives us half a chance. We've took 2 points from 6. It's gone. It's gone. But with the Europa League is now our last chance saloon, and I've got to be real. I said it in September. Let's get top 4. Let's get top 4. The Europa League is such a gamble. We could get all the way to the final, get somebody sent off in the first 10 minutes, and then it's gone. But Yeah, I'm waiting to see Mourinho. Thanks everyone for watching. Speak to you very soon. Back tomorrow night, 8:30. Your show. Skype in. Give us your thoughts. I know there's going to be loads to talk about. So get on at 8:30 tomorrow night. Skype Goldbridge live on United Stand, and I think it's going to be a very fiery show. Very interested to see what you've got to say. But thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.